Hey guys, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Leftover Culture Review. And man, a massive Merry Christmas to all of you guys out there. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending your time here on the channel on the Leftover Culture Review. Christmas is my favorite time of year. Every year I've tried to do a Christmas episode, something that gets me excited, gets me feeling in the spirit. It's important for me. It's part of my tradition at this point to do something really cool for Christmas, and I've been given a fantastic gift. This incredible package I found for Christmas from a fan of the show. Man, every year I butcher, well not every year, every time I try and say your name, I absolutely butcher it. So bear with me. Crudier, Quartier, How to pronounce... No.
Cudillard.
Google's telling me it's pronounced Cudillard. So every year, right, I absolutely butcher your name, but I just want to say like a massive thank you, Cudillard. What I have done is I've drawn you a picture. So this is you smashing a burger, and this is the face of the man that has brought you the Leftover Culture episode today and has given me something to unbox here for Christmas. So thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you so much for like the continued support. Thank you so much for the continued support for this channel. Like, it's meant a lot, especially through like 2020 has been an absolute roller coaster of a year for so many people. Being able to celebrate at the end of it feels like an incredible achievement. So I just want to, I do genuinely from the bottom of my heart want to say thank you, and I hope everyone out there has found peace with the year 2020 and is really excited to move into the year 2021, whatever it brings, just hopefully something better for everybody. Okay, so this has come all the way from Norway, I think. Yes, all the way from Norway. So I have been waiting very patiently from the moment I realized it was coming. So let's open up this massive top of the box and get started. More unwrapping. For anyone who watched my update video, I managed to break a bone in my wrist pretty recently rollerblading, or learning how to fall over while rollerblading. So forgive me if I'm a little bit delicate and tender. I actually took my cast off because it was annoying me. I should have probably kept wearing it for a few more weeks, but it makes things like this a lot easier to actually do. It's such a pain in the butt wearing those things. That hand strength from obviously video game playing and not doing anything else. Okay. Far out, man. My mum always told me to start with the card. There is so many things right now to distract me in this box, but Quartier. Far out. He wrote me a letter, which is amazing. I'm not going to try and do a Norwegian accent because that would be very distasteful. So I'm going to try something a little bit different. Well, hello, Mr. Bruiser, and greetings from Norway. I hope this package reaches you in time and before December. Thanks for all the years of awesome videos, dude, and great content on the all-time coolest YouTube channel. Hope you can make tons more in the future. Long live the Leftover Culture Review, man, and have a wonderful Christmas. And as we say in Norwegian, God Jul. Merry Christmas. Man, that is absolutely thoughtful. I really do appreciate it a lot, man, and I love the drawing with the Super Soaker, the Ninja, and Santa. It puts my drawing a little bit to shame. So Thank you. This is absolutely frame worthy. Man, where to start? All right, so I know I talk about Lego all the time, and I've spoken about it a lot online. I have the Leftovers channel where I look at a lot of Lego, and I haven't made it a secret that I love the hidden side. So I've got a whole bunch of these hidden side sets. This is one that I don't have, the laboratory, which is... It's just like a really cool mad scientist laboratory. And I actually made my very own haunted house, right? Where I took some Lego figures from the Monsters line and I built this haunted house based off the haunted house plan from the Monsters Hunters. And I built in my very own mad scientist's laboratory. And this is basically what I tried to do in a Lego set. So this is really exciting. And I just love a good horror theme. For anyone who hasn't looked at the hidden side Lego sets before, they also have like this really cool AR element in the design of the Lego set. So you have to download the app and you point it at the set and it like picks up on these different colored blocks that you use, and it can like you play mini games with the set using your phone. So it's this really, I find it like a really interesting like use, the merger of technology and like these physical toys, which are really cool to collect and display. So this is going right beside my other hidden side stuff. So that is incredible, man. Thank you so much. And for just really thoughtful. Like that's one set that I don't have. And it's one that's been on my wish list for a really long time. All right, so let's stick with the Lego for now. Okay, so it's a stunt skeleton hidden side miniature bag, which I love the mini bags that Lego do because you always get like some really unique things in it. I was collecting some of the Ninja Turtles ones for a while, so having like the hidden side mini bag, yeah, I hadn't seen this before. This is awesome. With a stunt skeleton. It reminds you a little bit of like the Stunt Dummies, Crash Dummy, the Crash Dummy toy line. I love that toy line as a kid. That's a massive throwback for me right there. There's also a City Lego policewoman. That's cool. I don't actually have a policewoman. This would work really well with, like I set up a Christmas Lego village every year, and I don't actually have any like police officers, so I could see her working really well with my village. So I'm gonna set her up in there. Thank you, man. If you didn't know, like all my Lego, all my Lego collections are kind of themed, and I keep them themed together, and that's how I display them. My own OCD, I guess, working against me. All right, now this is the bigger Lego box, the City Advent Calendar for 2020. So again, lots of small little pieces and lots of pieces that are going to work really well with my current like Christmas village setup, which, man, every year I look at the advent calendars that Lego put out, and it's really, it is really cool to finally get one. Obviously I haven't prioritized one for myself because I always I strive to pick up the sorry, I got them all set up behind me. So this year was the elves house, like with their bunk beds and where their workshop is. So this year I picked up that Christmas Lego set. I don't usually pick up the advent calendars just because I'm trying to prioritize how much Lego I buy every year. But that is a really cool gift. Like, super appreciate it. Works in really well, again, with what I'm trying to do here in the space. So thank you, man, so much. Really thoughtful. Sitting on top, I can already see right here in the box there's going to be a Sega Master System. So this guy's like, yeah, man, don't worry, I've got a spare one. I'll send it over to you in a box. So I knew it was coming. This is what I thought the present. I thought that was going to be all that was going to be in here, was just the system, and I was happy with that. I've ordered a couple of games that are coming in the post. There's a lot of games that I'd love to review for the system. For me, the Sega Master System was some of the first reviews that I did here on the Leftover Culture Review were Master System games. I did like Cyber Shinobi, Shadow Dancer, Vigilante. Vigilante was the first review I ever released, even though I was working on Earthworm Jim review before that. So there were a bunch of games for the Sega Master System that I reviewed, especially like in those early first like 2-3 years. Rampage, Dick Tracy, a whole bunch of others that I'm probably not remembering right now. So having an opportunity to potentially go back, well, I honestly do want to go back in 2021 and revisit the system that started, like, kicked off the channel, I think that would be really exciting. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Sitting on top of all this are a couple of books. So we've got Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid saga continues. So this is a comic book. Like, I've watched all the series and I was like talking to Juanier, far out. I'm just gonna keep butchering your name all night, and just, I hope for my sake that at least one of the pronunciations sounds a little bit correct. I was telling this guy, because he practices and trains in martial arts, and I really bloody admire that. Like the dedication and the effort. He went to Thailand for a bit to train with some incredible martial artists over there, and I saw the videos and they just look brutal, man. Like, if you want to check out his stuff, I'll leave a link below to his training videos. I've seen a couple on YouTube and Facebook. Like, this guy is, he knows what he's doing. He's confident. A lot more confident than I am. So we talk about martial arts super occasionally, and when I saw Cobra Kai, I'm like, oh, I like martial arts, of course I do. These guys are beating each other up. It's a fantastic show. And he's like, yeah, of course, I already knew that. So he sent over the book, the comic book for me to read. And if you remember last year for my Christmas special, I actually looked at a couple of things that I got then, and Juanier actually sent me a whole stack of comic books to check out that year. So I've been slowly going through those, and I just love the artwork, and I do really appreciate the effort and energy and how a comic book comes together. I never really got into comic books as a kid, so I was asking him for recommendations. So it's kind of cool to see like this one like wedged into this package. There's also, it's like a coffee table book, totally awesome, the greatest cartoons of the 80s. So there's obviously a couple instantly recognizable. Well, actually, all of these are pretty instantly recognizable. I'm not going to be able to open this now. Need an assistant. Or better fingernails, sharper fingernails. Bit of movie magic. Totally awesome. Greatest cartoons of the 80s. Oh wow. It's actually got hold on, I'll take off the dust jacket. I wasn't quite sure what to expect looking at the cover. I love the test pattern, like that is amazing. I'm actually working on a coffee table book at the moment, all about Queensland history. So seeing like a book like this, I've been looking at books a lot. Like, I haven't been able to afford buying many of them, but actually looking at them is really cool. And this one's got like pull-out pages and stuff like that attached to like the pictures and the, yeah, that is really cool. All right, I obviously can't finish the rest of this unboxing while flicking through these pages, but man, the artwork too. Like, it's one thing seeing like the cartoon, like the illustrations of the characters, but actually seeing like the cartoon still frames, but in like this quality is unreal. And all the color, man. I've really fallen in love with color in the last couple of years. Like, a lot of my artwork, a lot of what I try and do even professionally, has been reflecting like these massive bright colors. And a big part of that I owe to this show as well. Like I've really had an opportunity to experiment with colors and explore colors and really try and punch up that feeling of depth using color, I guess, and the warmth and the whole aesthetic of the 90s. And what else? Beelzebubs. So focusing on everyday challenges of everyday life, of family life, raising kids, getting your black metal band off the ground, summoning demons, you know how it is. So it is beautiful black and white comic. Fantastic. I love comics, especially ones that are comedic, humor. It's basically all I watch is really bad action movies and comedies, so like a funny comic goes a long way. And again, like the illustrations in here are fantastic. Again, I've got to stop reading things as I flick through. That is really cool. I haven't seen that before. Definitely I'm gonna check it out. Alright, so I think in terms of what we have here in the overall package, we're left with the Sega Master System. Should we start with the games? No, let's start with the system, the Sega Master System. It is Sega's first home console. Released in, man, I do all my fact checking on the fly. I'm absolutely terrible at remembering dates, but at least you know that when I'm checking things on my mobile phone, they're going to be as accurate as possible, right? So in Japan, the system was released in 1985. My best friend in grade 1, grade 2 had a Sega Master System, and I at the time was rocking an Atari 2600. So the first time that I ever got to see like a Sega Master System, it was playing Alex Kidd, and I did think, man, this feels a bit kiddie. Like it's too cutesy. I was used to like that abstract sort of game. I also really loved Double Dragon. So Double Dragon was one of my favorite all-time ever Atari 2600 games. Double Dragon and Berserk. So I was really excited about those sort of games, and then I saw Alex Kidd and I'm like, oh, you know, it's bright, it's colorful, it looks beautiful, but it's no Double Dragon. What I do have coming for my Master System, and it's a game I had when I had the Master System a couple of years ago as well, is Double Dragon. It's one of the best two-player games in my personal opinion, like Double Dragon, Rampage, Speedball. They're all some of my favorite two-player games for the system. They're some of the games that I'm trying to pick back up again, but Double Dragon was really at the top of that list. And I've got like Double Dragon for the Atari 2600. I've got Double Dragon for the Mega Drive. I've got... Do I have any other Double Dragons? Well, for the Super Nintendo, I've got, you know, games like... Do I have a good beat 'em up for the Super Nintendo? Not anymore. Don't think so. So yeah, the Sega Master System, this is the version, like the original looking version. From memory, when I had mine, the not the plug-in game, the default game, if you booted this thing up without having anything inserted, was Hang On, which, you know, fantastic motorbike game. Who doesn't love a bit of biking? Codier, Huadier, Hudier. He also sent me the adapter, so it's got a UK plug with a European travel adapter. I've got adapters for it. Thankfully, like, the UK voltage matches the Australian voltage. I do have a step-down converter, but it's just a bit bulky to always plug it in. So power adapter, fantastic, thank you so much. Always really helpful to have one of those. He's also sent me 2 controllers, so like the original Sega Master System control pads, which I love the simplicity of these control pads, right? Like they're square, they're boxy. There's 2 buttons. It's one thing that I do really love about playing these old school games and introducing people, like people who aren't traditionally spending a lot of time playing games, or people who are kind of new to playing games. Being able to start with some retro systems that only have, 2, 3, sometimes 6 buttons, but you don't have like all the top buttons and all the trigger buttons. It's just, these are the buttons that you'll need, and the gameplay is really simple, it's really straightforward, and the fun is like, the games are fun, but the interaction that you have with the people in the room around you at that time, that's the kind of gaming that I really love and I really thrive on. Like, some snack food, some drinks, and just playing some really simple but challenging games with people that you really enjoy spending time with. Like, the company really makes it for me. Again, it's a reason I have the games room, and it's a reason I love having these physical consoles, because I love bringing people into that space, playing games with them, introducing them to things that they may not have known about before. And that's kind of the whole reason this channel exists as well, because I wanted to share that that feeling, that excitement that I get, the enjoyment I get from those sort of interactions, but I wanted to do it on a bigger scale. This channel has always been about excitement behind video games. So yeah. So yeah, I do hope that comes through in these sort of videos that I make. The excitement behind what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Even if I'm looking at single player games, it's still like the experience of it, which I'm really interested in talking about. And you've got your classic Sega RF adapter. Thankfully, I've got a TV that's only got an RF input. I've also got a VCR, and I can also pick up AV cables pretty cheaply through eBay. So that's the Sega Master System, a fantastic console from Sega. In my opinion, like, the Nintendo gets a lot of love, especially in the States, but the Sega Master System, it looks better. For me, the games on it were always more of a standout. I guess I was always a bit more familiar with them. And yeah, I love this system, and I'm so excited to have one back in my collection. So obviously I didn't have any Sega Master System games to check out once the system arrived. The biggest part of this package for me, like, the system is incredible, but he also gave me all his second, cartridges that he had spare copies of. And they're all in incredible condition. And there's some real standouts for me in here too. So let's go through them, let's check them out. First cab off the rank, one that I was really excited to see in here, is Shinobi. Like, a lot of the early reviews that I did here on the channel were Shinobi games, especially for the Master System, like Shadow Dancer and Cyber Shinobi. I never got around to checking out the original Shinobi. I was a little bit obsessed with the Shinobi games when I first started doing these reviews and getting into retro gaming at all, because they were sleek, they were polished, they ran really well. They were conversions of arcade games which, especially for the Master System, like, the Shinobi game looks incredible, and then they ported it over to the Master System, and the Master System version really held its own. Like, it didn't look as sleek and polished, but it was still a beautiful game, and it was still a hell of a lot of fun to play. They did a fantastic job bringing some hardcore ninja action to an 8-bit machine that was competing with the NES at the time. So I was super stoked to find Shinobi here in the packaging. It's a game that I enjoyed tremendously when I had my system, and even though it's a single player game, I think it really highlights the fun in those early sort of platforming style arcade games. So yeah, absolute standout for the Sega Master System. So excited to have it back again. There's a lot of games in here that I actually haven't played before as well, like Ghost House. So we've just had Halloween, it's Christmas time. It's that weird time of year where you see the Halloween decorations next to the Christmas decorations. They quickly swap seasons. I don't know if in America you have Thanksgiving decorations with giant turkeys. Everything I know about Thanksgiving, I've really learned from Adam's Family Values, where they do the turkey dance parade thing at the nature camp. I know that you guys eat turkey. Try to find the hidden treasure in the spooky romp through Count Dracula's haunted house. So Count Dracula never had a haunted house, and the game itself is called Ghost House. Count Dracula was never a ghost. I'm loving this already. Like, this is a fantastic, like, really weird concept for a game. Like, it looks like a very straightforward platforming title. One that I'll definitely be keen to check out. The condition is fantastic, man. Manual, like, everything's in here, and it looks 1986 Ghost House. So this is like one of the classic early games for the Master System. There's Teddy Boy. I do remember a little bit about Teddy Boy. Scramble from one nightmarish maze to another, bumping off bugs, guppies. Those bloody guppies! Snails, oh man, Dominoes. We have a Domino's pizza here in Australia. I think it'd be more fun to fight pizza. But beware, you must avoid the ugly Den, a snapping dragon head. Just the head, or you'll be forced to wake up to reality. So, Teddy Boy, interesting looking game. I love the cover. Again, like, these Master System games had like the most awkward looking covers. He's dodging, it looks like a pupa or some sort of insect or a grub, but it's not hitting its head, it's going between his head and his cap. So, close call. And again, man, like, manual, cartridge, it's all here, it looks immaculate. Again, 1986, so one of the like early games for the Sega Master System. Beautiful, beautiful condition. Afterburner, again, talking about some of the arcade games that were ported from the arcades down into the Sega Master System. I've got Afterburner for the Mega Drive as well. That was another donation, so I'm really stoked to have the Master System version as well. Like, just in terms of comparison, like, I really do enjoy the gameplay that comes with an arcade game. And it's some place that I still enjoy heading out to the arcades. Checking out the games there. So Afterburner for the Sega Master System, you know they mean business. It is a 4 mega cartridge. You didn't get many of those, maybe, I actually don't know. 1988, so it came out a little bit later than the other games that we had a quick look at. You're an ace fighter pilot for wings? Oh, for wings, like for your wings, for the wings that you have to drive. You have an F-14 Thundercat, the most advanced fighter jet ever developed. So if you lose, you know you suck. In the sky, you are the perfect combination of man and machine. The country's freedom depends on your success. Good luck. Afterburner, again, I love picking up the Sega classic arcade games and just seeing how they run. Again, cartridge, manual, fantastic condition. And that's a cover that I actually really do enjoy. Like, it's simple, but it gets the point across, and I think they use like the perspective really well, sitting under the title there. The whole cross the grids, it was a really odd design choice, really, when you think about like why. Why do they think that was a really good idea for a game system? I don't know. Donald Duck, the Lucky Dime Caper. So these Disney games, I love, especially Quackshot on the Sega Mega Drive. Like, that was one of my absolute favorite games as a kid. This looks like it might be pretty close to the Master System equivalent. Evil Magica Dispel has stolen the Lucky Dimes and has captured Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Trek through 6 treacherous lands with Donald to save his nephews and retrieve the Lucky Dimes. So again, you're traveling the world, you're needing to save things and do things. Peripherals. Die böse Zauberin Magica Dispel hat die Glückstaler gestohlen und Tick, Trick und Track entführt. Begleiten Sie Donald auf seinem Weg durch So this, I mean, I loved Quackshot on the Sega Mega Drive, one of my absolute favorite games as a kid. Again, that was another donation from Joe. You might remember him from during this year actually, I did an unboxing with lots of stuff that Joe sent over. That wasn't the first package he sent me. He sent me another one before that, which was, again, man, I seem to know some of the best people. Like, I feel incredibly blessed, but I've got Quackshot for the Sega Mega Drive now. Fantastic game, highly recommended. I really enjoyed it as a kid. This looks like it might be like a bit of a spiritual predecessor, like kind of a similar concept where you have to sort of travel the world, save the day. You're Donald Duck, and you've got stuff to do, man. You're a busy duck. Like, I don't know about the NES, but as far as Sega systems go, the Disney games are always pretty solid. And again, cartridge, booklet, like, it's in fantastic condition. Absolutely blown away that like these games from the 1980s, this one's 1991, so it's a bit newer, but these old games still look fantastic. And just because it says 86 on the back of the box doesn't mean that particular cartridge was produced in the 80s. It just means that's when the game originally came out. I get it, but still, like, I'm really blown away by how fantastic the condition of all this stuff has been. And as a collector, like, the condition of things, this was a gift, and I was expecting like a box of loose cartridges. This is absolutely blowing my mind. All right, next up, Mickey Mouse Land of Illusion. So I have not played any of the Mickey Mouse games for the Sega. Again, I'm hoping they're as good as the Donald Duck ones. I'm a massive fan of the Donald Duck ones, and I can see here as well, Sega Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. So I've got two Mickey Mouse games here, Land of Illusion, Castle of Illusion. They both look like they're, similar platforming concepts, so really keen to check out what Disney were doing with Mickey Mouse right here on the Master System. Fantastic, man. Kudia, like, he also knows that I've got kids, and a lot of the times when I'm playing games, I'm playing the kid-friendly stuff. I'm introducing these little people, maybe not so little anymore, to gaming and like all the thrills and all the joys. So a lot of these games, they're really appropriate for what I'm trying to do, especially with the games room, with the space, even what I'm trying to do here on this channel, which is like, I don't like try and stick to adult games or kids games or violent games or family friendly games. I like to, whatever I feel interested enough to talk about, but games like the Mickey Mouse series, Castle of Illusion, Donald Duck, like, these are all really fantastic ways to bring different kinds of people who might not be playing many video games or playing video games for the first time, and going back to some of the earlier systems and checking out these platforming games, having like a strong character or a point of reference or some recognition that can hook them in to actually experience what the gameplay is like. Because even after all these years, these Master System games, like, they're still a hell of a lot of fun. Like, they hold up in that sense. But just getting started can sometimes be a little bit of a hurdle. I'm talking about Disney characters like Asterix. This was another game that I had on my, when I originally had the Sega Master System, that I never got around to reviewing. Really dig the Asterix comics. I really do dig the Asterix comics, and the game itself is, again, a really solid platformer. A lot of platformers for the Master System, like, that was just the genre that a lot of developers rolled with. So when you've got a few like other interesting games like scattered throughout the collection here, Ghost House, Afterburner, like those arcade games, they do sort of break up the action a bit and let you experience a few different ways that the Sega Master System could be enjoyed. But fantastic, like, solid run of platforming titles. So I do really appreciate that. And Asterix, so yeah, Asterix for the Sega Master System. Again, another really solid platformer. You might be starting to sense a bit of a theme. Like, a lot of the Sega Master System games, they are platformers. Like, that was the genre of the decade. Asterix. So Get-A-Fix the Druid, whose magic potion has kept his village from falling into Caesar's hands, has been kidnapped. Join Asterix and Obelix as they try to rescue the druid and save the village. Simple setup, you get it all right there on the back of the box. No complicated plot. Pick up a controller and you start playing. Again, another massive reason why I really enjoy these retro games and why I get so much joy from them, because they're not overly complicated. It's all there in the gameplay. Alright, so we've got a couple more games left in here. I don't feel like I've exactly saved the best for last, but like, it's such an incredible collection of games already that... so My Hero, this is a game that I never played. It's obviously one that I've seen a lot. 1986. A bunch of seedy punks try to steal your girl. Damn. Battle knife throwers, ferocious bulldogs. Are bulldogs the punks? Flying bottles aren't punks either. Even the gang leader, Mohican. Hopelessly overwhelming, ? Sorry, I didn't pronounce that very well. Hopelessly overwhelming? Take heart. You have incredible kung fu skills, but the punks have your girl. Man, what a hook. How can you not read that and not want to... How can you read that and not want to play My Hero? It looks like a side-scrolling beat-em-up, but without the 3D depth of field. So it's a 2D beat-em-up. Bit like Vigilante. Again, incredible condition, 1986, and the artwork actually looks really cool. Like, it's bright, it's colourful, and it's kind of blocky, but I think it really fits the aesthetic of what they're trying to do. And it harkens back to those terrible 80s action movies where you're the hero and you've got to do something and you've got to beat up a lot of people and they're all against you. And they've taken something very valuable. In this case, I don't like how possessive it sounds, but they've taken your girl. So there's a fair chunk of action there already. What I saved for the end though, it sometimes surprises people when I talk about how much I love sports games. Like, I'm not an overly sporty person. Obviously, once upon a time back in high school, I used to play rugby league. I was quite good at rugby league. I was quite a fast sprinter. I had a good build. I'm 6 foot. At the time I was probably about 90 kilograms. So in high school I was good at playing rugby, but I always loved a good sports video game as well. So here for the Master System we've got Super Tennis. It is a tennis game. Lob, volley, smash. It's deuce and you've got 1 set to go for the match. All the details are here, bringing realistic action and strategy onto your home court. So that sounds like a lot of fun. Actually, I really love the cover work for Super Tennis because it works really well within the limitations of how they were doing the artwork at the time. It's a tennis racket being absolutely smashed by a tennis ball. It actually looks like a lot of fun. And again, it's those sports games as well that are very often two-player games. It's those sports games that, again, are very often two-player games. So if you're looking at systems and you're trying to find some interesting two-player games to play with a friend, don't turn your nose up at the sports titles. Like, some of them, even though they might not be a whole lot of fun on your own, they really take on a different life when you've got people to play these sports games with. Keeping on the tennis, Basil, can you knock it off, mate? The cat's found some Christmas decorations. Going on the not the Christmas theme. Continuing with the tennis theme, we have Tennis Ace. This game comes with password saving, which means it just has passwords. On your first serve, the ball explodes off your racket like a fiery missile. Instinctively, you move toward the net. Your opponent returns your serve, but you're ready for him. With lightning speed, you raise your racket and smash the ball. He never had a chance. You are the tennis ace. Sounds fun. Actually, the graphics look a lot more simple than Super Tennis, but again, when it comes to gameplay, just depends what you're in the mood for. Maybe you're in for an overhead tennis game. Maybe you want to have like that depth. Again, like the sports games are a lot of fun. Same with puzzle games. Like puzzle games sometimes get overlooked when you're, like I already said, my favorite game was Double Dragon for the Sega Master System, and there's a bunch of other 2-player games like Speedball. But even just some of those simple puzzle games, like Clax. Clax itself is like a really fun puzzle game. It's easy to boot up and play, and you don't really need to have any reason to do it. It's just fun. Finally, absolutely, the last thing here in this package is Hang On. Again, I think this game is included on the system if you boot it up without a game installed. But look, it's a motorbike game. You get to, yeah, you do ride the motorbike. That's all you really get to do with it. You don't get to do anything extreme with the motorbike. Like, what would you be doing with a motorbike? I can see here, according to the back of the box, you ride the motorbike. It doesn't get to ride you. You don't have to feed it. You just need to ride it. And it says here, like, according to the back of the box, you get to ride the motorbike. I think that's kind of the gist of the game. Neck-breaking speeds, tight curves, and world-class competition make Sega's Hang On the most exciting motorcycle racing game around. Hop aboard your supercycle and test your racing skill against the top riders on Earth. Think you can beat them all to the finish line? Prove it! There's a challenge written right there in the blurb. Check it out if you want. If you love motorbike games, could be one worth checking out. Again, it's an arcade game that was brought over to the Sega Master System, and those arcade titles I really don't have a problem with. I think they are a hell of a lot of fun, and the Master System did them really well. So guys, that is my Christmas. Like, my massive Christmas present just laid out, and it's a little bit overwhelming. Like, so bloody cool. The Lego sets, the books, the advent calendar, the games, the system. It's an incredible amount of really cool stuff that fits so well with what I have here already, like as part of the collection. Yeah, man, absolutely blown to pieces. Like, I've often said that I really do enjoy doing this show, and I love hopping on camera. It's just sometimes a little bit hard to find the motivation or the right games to play. And just sometimes even to sit down and have the focus and the attention to talk to the camera about a certain game and actually try and make the review fun. Like, I never want these things to feel boring, but for me, there's just been so much excitement and buzz being able to unwrap this incredible present and start like thinking how I'm going to review games like Ghost House, how I might review a game like Shinobi in the future. Like, it's just, for me, that tonight's been really exciting just because of all the ideas that start to dwell and bubble up, and ideas that I had nearly 10 years ago when I started the channel are still like kicking around. Games that I never really got to review, games that I have sitting in my collection right now that I bought for a review which never went ahead. For whatever reason, I never quite got myself to the point where I was ready to talk about that particular game, or something else has come up. So this Christmas has been, it's not just about what you receive, it's about the company you have. It's also about being able to share with other people. So I hope that being able to share like this collection, this unboxing with you guys is, I don't know, this has been fun for you. Like, I'm just really excited about all the inspiration and taking this energy and this momentum with me into 2021. Like, that's been the most incredible gift of all. And I just want to thank all of you for giving me that opportunity to do that, to make a channel like this, to see the comments, to see the likes, to feel invigorated, to feel empowered as I make this stuff and as we move forward into the future for hopefully a much better 2021. I need you guys to stay safe for me over the Christmas break, over the Christmas period. I need you guys back next year. Like, I kind of really want to see all your faces and all your comments and all the love and support. I kind of want to see you back again next year. I can't really afford to lose subscribers. I kind of want to see you guys back again next year. I just want to, again, say thanks. Thank you so much for spending your Christmas with me, checking out this incredible present. I hope it's been fun, and I hope what's sitting under your tree, whether you bought it for yourself or someone else has bought you a gift. I'll be having some gifts that I bought myself sitting under my tree. I just hope you have a really good Christmas, and it just gives you the energy and strength you need to move forward into 2021, feeling positive and like you can make a difference. So thank you so much for being here. Until then, until 2021, keep it real. Cheers.
Merry Christmas.